throw from deep and out. That's a smashing ball, it's Martins!
Chelsea, Yobo, good ball.
And it's just out to the boot!
Simcoe Odesi.
Sensational! What a wonderful finish!
That is the most embarrassing own goal. Oh, what a goal! That's something out of nothing. He struck it sweetly, and does he ever score ordinary goals? They're all copybook stuff.
Of course, it's that time of the week. Every weekend, of course, has its own hot spot, hot moment for everyone, especially for what you like. For lovers of sport, once it is 3 p.m. every Saturday, you know that's the hot sport time and hot sport moment when you have to tune in to Melody 100.7 FM to listen to that, of course, your darling program, Complete Sports. And this evening we'll be doing it together as we do it always. I've got my brother with me here. Bobola is here. He was just a few hours ago. He was done with Sport Echoes.
Yeah.
Now you're back on Complete Sport.
Good afternoon, Daniel. Good afternoon to all our listeners out there. It's nice to be on the program today. It's Complete Sports, where we talk about the latest happenings in the world of sport. We don't just discuss football. We talk about the latest happenings in the ever exciting and ever scintillating world of sport. It's nice to be on the program today, Daniel.
All right, of course, that's the voice of Bobola. This is your own nice and faithful Daniel Adeyemi, your sports here. Of course, you know how we do it on Complete Sport. We go from, of course, non-football stories, everything that has to do with sport, and then we come to local stories, and then we take you into the second segment of the flow, which is actually the Bet Ninja segment. You know, that's where you get to predict and win amazing prizes. That also still stands today. So, and after that, we come into actions, live actions as it's going down around the world, especially league actions that are going down already. Yes, for Chelsea, for Man City, line up are out already, and for Manchester City and Chelsea fans, I'm sure they are, of course, trying to check that out. All you have to do is stick with us here on Melody 100.7 FM, Complete Sports, right here, together with Egunfemi Bobola, and of course, Daniel Adeyemi, your sports here and your sport bam bam. So today, interesting story. We're going to start, of course, from Nigeria, yes, where we're receiving news, and of course, officially, I think a couple of days ago, the Nature's Finest himself, while on the cruise show, was talking about how Nigeria is preparing to bid for African Games. And just, of course, in the early hours of today, that's about 12:08 a.m. today, we got the news that, of course, Nigeria submits bid to host the 2031 African Games. So I'll take the story and then we'll get to see what's actually in that story for us. And Nigeria has formally submitted a bid to African Union Sports Council to host the 2031 African Games, signaling the nation's ambition to once again welcome Africa's premier sport event after nearly 25 years successfully hosting it in Nigeria. That was in 2003. And in a statement shared by the Nigeria Sport Commission on Friday, it was revealed that the bid presentation was made during the high-level engagement with AUSC, where Nigeria reaffirmed its readiness and capacity to stage another world-class continental festival. That's my big part, world-class.
Festival.
Yeah. Do you think you're ready? They said they have already made assurance that Nigeria reaffirm its readiness. Are we ready to stage a world-class continental festival? Are we ready to stage a world-class, emphasis on world-class? Oh, no.
Well, I think this is actually a big discourse when you look at the sport in general in Nigeria is so bad.
Okay.
You talk about the stadiums we have. You talk about the facilities we have. Not even just football alone. I'm not even talking about the pitches that we have. The basketball stadium, because African Games encompasses all sports. I mean, very few. I mean, it's not just one sport. It has basketball in it. Other sports are coupled with the fact right there. This is not the what's the last one that was hosted? Sport festival.
Yeah.
This is the sport festival, and we actually saw what happened at the sport festival. Fine, it was going well at some point, but later we started to see complaints as regards welfare of athletes. A couple of other things right there. We also saw that there were no lights in some of the places where these athletes were staying, and now hosting an African game is bringing other nations to your country right there. If we can't do it within the shore of Nigeria, how do we want to do it?
Well, I think
hosting African Games.
Answering that your question, they
Yeah.
went further to say the AC Sport broadcaster and administrator, that is main Sarah Ilo, presented a bid to AUSC. And Nigeria, now they are saying they have demonstrated exceptional organization capability by successfully hosting a series of major international sporting events, including the CAA Africa Under 18 and 20 Athletics Championship and African Karate Championship, ITTF African Youth Table Tennis Championship, African Arm Wrestling Championship, Badminton National Open, West African Para Games, African Cadet Junior Taekwondo Championship, and of course, central to Nigeria's growing influence in continental sport development, the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Malam Shehu Diko, said that, and the Director General, Honorable Kola Olapade, who have consistently championed the national sports economy agenda. Now, they are saying, look at our CV. We've hosted a series of events, the CAA under 18 and under 20, the African Karate Championship, the ITTF, African Youth Table Tennis, African Arm Wrestling Championship, Badminton National Open, and West Africa Para Games. I mean, this should earn us a place. Of course, he said with more than 5,000 small medium enterprise benefiting from this, coming African Championship. Now, do you think this CV is enough to say?
When you look at all of the sports listed, all of the games listed, you would see that it's particular sport, not coming
Not
together.
all games.
Why did they not mention the sport festival? Well, I understand that the sport festival is just Nigeria, but having all games at once is different from having just karate. In fact, private organizations
Can do that.
Can even do that. Can organize just
I don't know how
karate.
you easily see through their lies there.
You understand? A private organization can organize just a boxing competition.
Anyone will feel that defense is very weak.
Which
I mean,
of-
that defense, the way they try to make that.
Exactly. They just try to make it seem like it's a big thing. Meanwhile, fine. I mean, they've done well. Looking at the CV, organizing competitions that they are not so popular in Nigeria, but still, I feel like organizing the African Games is bigger. The first time it was hosted was 1973 in Lagos. That was where Nigeria started to have a roots when it comes to football and major sporting activities right there. And it was considered a very, very good sports or African Games right there. Now, look at the stadiums then. The likes of Surulere, the likes of Moshood Abiola Stadium. What's
their state right now?
What's their state right now? I said it sometimes ago that I went to the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium where Davido hosted. Let me put it like that.
Where you people hosted the video.
Okay, we hosted it. Okay, we hosted the Davido definitely. Or your state government in partnership hosted Davido for fans and lovers. And everybody were on that pitch, and I was like, this is a pitch we all grew up doing. It was in a messy state. I understand that a particular event was going on, but it doesn't happen like that in Europe. You understand? There's always like two layers. There's a layer for entertainment. There's another layer for the pitch. And I was wondering if this is one of the stadiums that we're going to be using if we're going to be hosting competitions like this. So then it was better, the likes of 1973, because that was when it started. It was new, but the maintenance level afterwards has really, really gone down. We've hosted even under 17 World Cups, even the African Cup of Nations, although it was co-hosted. You understand? We had, is it Nigeria and Ghana?
Yeah.
Yes. So we have had all of these competitions, but subsequently, what has happened to the facilities? It has gone really, really bad. And maybe the urge, or just to be the face of Nigerians again, that because a lot of Nigerians have been complaining about the sport facility, maybe that they don't have to rush. The example of Morocco is a long period. 2009 till now is a long time. It's about 15, 16 years. You understand?
Intentionally going back and putting
everything in place. So it's not a matter of, because 2031, this is 2025. It's about 6 years.
6 years.
The problem of Nigeria is beyond, in terms of sporting facilities, beyond 6 years. It would even take, it's even more than Morocco's own when they started. Because Morocco was already, doing well for themselves at that point in time. It would take 20 years, and it has to be consistent. Not that today, the APC government right now, and subsequently something happens in 4 years or 5 years, another government comes in. It comes down.
New that growth again.
Exactly, because there are going to be new appointments. The NSC, different things would shake up. Before, we had the Minister of Sport. Now, it's the NSC. You understand? So many of all of these things affect. It just takes intentional people to be up there, and I don't think they should be in a rush. The process now should be getting our sports back into limelight.
Rebuild. Not trying to host something.
Not hosting.
Just being at the face
if they want to host any competition now, it has to be a competition maybe within Nigeria. You understand? Let's
just keep the National Sport Festival going.
Exactly. Or something else that would make the facilities grow very, very fast before we organize a major tournament that will include African countries. Because security-wise, it's not even about the facilities right now. The security is also something to talk about. The security is in a bad state. November to December, we've known the number of cases. I mean, we listen to shows like Oshilo Awarawa, Eko Jumo. You see or you hear
a lot of things,
kidnapping issues and all of it. So it's not going to be good for Nigeria at the global map. So I don't think we are at the right state. In fact, 25%, we are 25% ready to host any game. Maybe when we get to 70, 80%, that's when I would give them the thumbs up. But for now, let's just keep it going secretly inside Nigeria.
Now, let's say you actually have a vote to pass Nigeria to either host these games or not. Will you vote in support of Nigeria?
No.
That's the verdict I'm waiting for. Very strong no from Higufemi Akinwola right there. Okay, still talking about Nigeria right here. There is another Nigeria here who is in the news, of course, afternoon for something very, very sad. Of course, that's Brume right there, pleading guilty of firearms charge in USA. So the report we just receiving is Nigerian sprint star Godson Brume has pleaded guilty of unlawful possession of firearms while in the United States on non-immigrant visa. I mean, that one, wala upon trouble. You never become citizen, you don't carry them. Now, the fourth fastest man in Nigeria history faces up to 15 years in prison and, of course, a $250,000 fine, 3 years of supervised release, and possible deportation once his sentence is completed. Now, according to reports we're receiving, the incident occurred in February 2025 in, of course, Burton Rug. Brume was reportedly in his apartment with his younger woman when his ex-girlfriend with woman go cause
with woman
go cause. They've been doing this since the time of Apple. They never stop. Wait till women go cause. Anyway, I respect Una. I don't go. Okay, Brume was reportedly in his apartment with his another. Waiting the man said they do with another. They blame women. Okay, is this one women problem now?
So it was with a lady.
Minister of Women Affairs.
What do you mean?
Minister of Enjoyment.
See what enjoyment has done to. I think it's just quite funny. It's a very sad situation.
Definitely.
And also
hilarious in a way.
Yeah, and his career is...
Because if you are playing with this kind of games, you should expect things like this to happen.
Yeah, because he was with a lady and his ex-girlfriend was the one that caused all of this. The particular issue happened way back in February 7th. And we know that in the USA, it's legal
Yeah.
for people to have arms, the possession of arms and all of it. But
But
for
the fact that you never
students,
even-
but he is not a citizen
not even
yet,
a citizen
non-immigrant.
yet. Yeah.
He's non-immigrant, so they are not allowed to have possession of arms, and it's really, really sad. And he has pleaded guilty. So right now, he has accepted that he did it. So when you look at the possible consequences or the legal consequences he could face, 15 years imprisonment, couple of other things. Even if he wants to pay fine, $250,000. I mean, it's a low lot when it comes to this young man. He could even face deportation. You mentioned it. So his career for me is at stake. You know, and definitely I don't think he's going to get it easy because we know how strict the U.S. legal system is, and also how strict even the USA is when a crime is being committed. So for the young man, maybe if after it's been given his verdict yet, because we've not had the verdict yet, he should just try to turn a new leaf, because I know it's going to be severe if he's going to be facing deportation.
But how is this on the image of Nigeria? The fourth fastest person in the history of Nigeria.
Well, is he okay for Nigeria losing a star if eventually he gets?
Is this good for the image? We talk about how some of our athletes don't get clear whenever they want to go represent Nigeria.
No, you know,
abroad.
I think it's more of a personal image, because it's not like he did it. He didn't use
But
it.
it's not more an individual, so to say. Whoever sees him now, why he's making the news is because he's Gosen Brume, fourth fastest man in the history of Nigeria.
You know, there are certain athletes that would train all their lives in USA and would, when they see that they don't have that capacity to actually, that chance,
Compete there.
to compete there, they come to Nigeria. So it could be that case, because he stays there at the US, and most of the athletes we're seeing in Nigeria, apart from the likes of Toby Amuson, the few ones that we know, most of them are USA. Even Favour Philly, who recently denounced Nigeria as a choice of country right there, started from the USA. So most of them usually used to start from there, and later, when it's time for a professional career, they represent Nigeria. So I think it's more or less personal, because it affects him more. If he started from Nigeria and everything, and maybe he actually used it to threaten somebody or used it to kill someone, you know, that's when we can say, why would you go there to do that? But then he just had the possession. He
actually fired a shot.
He fired a shot.
He fired a shot. There was a baby there. So the story actually reads,
Wow.
okay, let's, for clarity, the story is that Brume was probably in his apartment with another young woman when his ex-girlfriend, who is also the mother of his infant child, arrived with the baby. Now, an argument ensued outside the apartment, during which Brume discharged a Glock 43X pistol while the child was present there. Now, moment later, the ex-girlfriend opened the apartment door and saw Brume with another woman, triggering a second confrontation that again spilled outside. Brume fired the weapon multiple times as the mother of the child attempted to flee. Investigators later found several bullets impacts on the wall and of the apartment complex.
Wow.
Multiple shots.
You should
I just imagine you are the lawyer. How do you feel at this point?
It's up to the legal system of USA. At this point in time, he's guilty, he has accepted. So, I mean,
Yeah, he's actually pleaded guilty already.
Whatever
So he's
consequence he
facing
gets.
15 years, $250,000, and of course, 3 years of supervised released, and then possible deportation to Nigeria after.
That's really bad.
That's
really bad. That's really bad. I think it's all the best to them, because what he did for me is not even justified. It's not something that someone should do, and maybe we should be pitying
Someone
the
of
person.
his class. He's
Exactly.
got a name to
It's
protect.
just really sad. It's just really sad. Just like I said, in the USA, they don't find it easy, especially when you commit crime. This is not even about racism or whatever. Once you commit crime and you're guilty of it, you face
Law,
the
now
law.
law. All right, of course, talking about Nigerians representing very big time in the, of course, foreign country, we've got a big news this more, of course, afternoon of a new one. This one is a rising boxer, Anyawale, who's set to make a debut. Yes, in the UK. Yes, you would love to hear this news. A Nigerian female boxing sensation, Odunayo Anyawale, is set to make a United Kingdom debut on, of course, January 24th, 2026 at the York Hall in London. Yes, the 2-1 fighter who started a professional career in November 2024 will face undefeated British boxer Charlie Brown, who's undefeated in 5 bouts. Now, of course, in a 6-round, 2 minutes per round international female lightweight challenge, Remo Abodorin, Secretary General, of course, of the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, confirmed to, of course, our correspondent on Thursday that the British and Irish Boxing Authority licensed promoter William Story has invited Anyawale for the bout at the historic venue on the 5th Hold Ford in London. This contract has been signed, according to report. Contracts have been signed, and they are also pleased to see another Nigeria. We are pleased to see another Nigeria boxer getting international exposure.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
big one. A lady. I mean, usually
in a long time.
Yes. Usually it used to be guys, but I mean, she was have done something very, very good for her to have done a lot to attract international
something like this.
Yes, to attract international bouts like this. It looks like she's really, really long. Looking at her picture,
she's not picking fights with someone that week.
I mean, she's only young. I think it's just a step.
She's a 2-1 fighter. She's lost one.
Yes.
So this one is undefeated.
Exactly. So I think she has really done well for her to attract this type of international bouts right there. And I feel like she's ready because it looks like their support from the Nigerians out there. Even the head of boxing is coming out to speak.
It's becoming a national thing now.
It's becoming national. So it's all the best to her. I just really hope she represents us well. And later, it would really mean a lot to her because she can have access to, Commonwealth, British titles, and all of this. It could be a pathway for her if she go on to represent her way. If she wins this one, definitely her eyes and more people would be seeing her out there. So it's just really, really nice. I'm happy that we are seeing a lady because usually it used to be guys that have these opportunities. In fact, when it comes to boxing, we don't really talk so much about ladies. It's mostly the guy, Anthony Joshua, you talk about Efe Ajagba. These are the guys that we always talk about. But ladies, so this is one name to notice and keep up with. I hope she performs well and make Nigeria proud right there.
Well, of course, we expect Oduayo Anyawale to go out there and make Nigeria proud. I'm very sure this is one to watch out for. I'm just looking at her now. She's got some very nice move. I mean, we wish she can show you this, but I think Oduayo Anyawale is she's no novice, because for you to secure that much of a big of a fight shows that you two know someone now.
Yeah, and one of the things I love her for is the fact that she started all her career right here in Nigeria. We can see right here on the screen right now that this is a December 2024 bout in Nigeria, and she's got pretty moves, although I can see the inexperience. So this would be a much more experience for her.
Exposure she needs.
Exposure. So I don't expect people to be very, very harsh if eventually she lost the bout, but I'm very, very optimistic that she would make Nigeria proud, because when you suddenly get that kind of opportunity and you know that nobody in the recent time have had it's just up to you to make Nigeria proud. Wow.
I think this lady is fire.
She's good.
All right, we're just looking at a clip of her right there. Talk about Oduayo Anyawale. Good news to her. Good news to her. Everyone who's been fighting, been pushing, is waiting for this kind of international opportunity. We are hoping and we're praying that, of course, Oduayo Anyawale will go out there to make Nigeria proud. Now, let's talk about Nigeria in boxing. Everything.
Why are you laughing?
It's the way you saw him and then you put your head down. Now, it's it's going to be the last one for the year. For all lover of boxer, this is the last one you're going to see this year, and it's going to be very, very, very interesting. We're talking about the Anthony Joshua and Paul's fight. We talk about this fight and people say a lot of things about it. But now, when a man like Wilder comes out to say, you know what? This fight, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And what's Wilder saying this morning? He's saying, you know what? The former heavyweight champion, that's Deontay Wilder, believes Anthony Joshua's upcoming fight with Jake Paul is totally scripted. In fact, the man said he made his claim, of course, according to what he saw. If you look at the previous fight, he said the previous fight of this man was against Mike Tyson in 2024. And then he later came out of retirement. Of course, now he's asking for Joshua. So the man is saying that, in my opinion, that's him saying, in his opinion, he thinks the fight is scripted a little because the weight is different. Joshua is active. This is ongoing. This is going to be a first time to see Jake Paul fighting an active fighter. And that's what Wilder is saying. He said, we have seen him with Mike Tyson. It was fun. It was cute. But now you're dealing with a real professional. So we all know how it's going to end up.
I wish Deontay Wilder said, okay, maybe it was Anthony Joshua that was.
He said we have seen. He said Joshua and Paul are expected to walk away with at least 40. He said, okay, Joshua and Paul 40 million. Yes, 40 million.
Okay, I think he's just talking about as regards the money perspective. Honestly speaking,
what do you think? Do you believe it's scripted in a way?
It could be, but
will you put your money on this side?
No.
No, people say it's scripted, but yet people are scared of putting.
So that's why even the promoter, Joshua's promoter, Edion, he came out to say that as much as there's provision for betting and people can actually pick a choice, it makes, and there's no contracts that both athletes or both boxers come out to say that, oh, you are the one that will win the game. There's still that anticipation from people that, okay, we are looking forward to this particular bout. It goes to show that.
But do you know how this is going to end?
There's no what did Wilder call it? There's no agreement. It's not scripted. That's at the end. That's the promoter.
So you believe it's not scripted?
No, that's at the end coming out to say that there's betting. People are allowed to bet. There's no contract that says, okay, there's is Anthony Joshua that's going to win or Jake Paul.
Will they tell us if that exists?
Definitely. So it's all about his money too, because as a promoter, he will defend his boxer.
But we know Wilder is a professional. He can smell when there is something going on.
Yeah, you know, everybody is entitled to their opinion. But will I say Wilder too might be jealous too?
Jealous? I mean,
because the last time
the money is good anyway.
The money is good
enough to make him jealous.
You know, I'm just trying to look at it from different angles, because Wilder, the last time he had about it was long time. I think it was June or January.
And Robert is saying you guys are just playing with money like this.
Exactly, and I mean, the last time he had about was June 27th. So I mean, it's a long space. So you might be looking forward to ending that kind of amount of money too. I'm just looking at it from the jealous perspective. But Wilder coming out to say that it looks scripted, so it has a solid point. Because for me, I've always said it that it's all about the body. Jake Paul, just like you read out, this is the first time he's going to face a professional boxer. The last time was Mike Tyson. It was 58 years. You understand? A professional boxer who can still fight tough battles right there. So, like I would always say, I expect Anthony Joshua to still fight top bouts. But right now, if he goes against Jake Paul, in terms of professionalism, in terms of facing a tough boxer like Deontay Wilder, I don't think it's going to happen. So that's why I say this might be his path to retirement. Maybe Anthony Joshua is just looking for more body, making it and going to retirement. Because after this bout against Jake Paul, irrespective of whatever happened, he cannot get Usyk to battle with. He cannot even get Wilder. You understand? So that's what is only Jake Paul that can get some of these guys, because they are also approaching their stretch when it comes to retirement. So Deontay Wilder actually has a point, but on the open ground, there's no fact that says that, okay, it looks scripted.
Will you gamble on this game?
No, I won't. I'm not a gambler.
No, I mean, because everybody say it's easy, it's an easy fight. He's saying you know how it's going to end. If I had access to this man, I'll ask him, so how do you think it's going to end?
That's why I said he should have.
How do you think it's going to end?
Anthony Joshua winning.
What if that's not the script?
We don't know if it's scripted.
No, I mean, that's why it's actually very dicey.
For
Joshua, he's got nothing to lose, in my own opinion. If Joshua loses this game to someone who's totally a novice in terms of what he's achieved in the game, people will feel like, come on, Joshua. It's not like Joshua cannot beat that guy.
Yeah.
But if that guy goes on to win Joshua, he's not going to up that guy's game. I mean, except if the fight gets to be something that people can see clearly that this was very tense and this was very real. But of course, eyes will be on them.
Definitely.
All right, of course, let's call it a little break. I'll take a little breather. When we come back, we go into, of course, football stories from the home front here. Yes, we look at our leagues, we look at our national sport stories in football, the NPFL, the NLO, and some other stories. So we'll be back after this breather. All right, welcome back. Now let's go into, of course, some interesting football stories already coming up, of course, coming out from different places. But let's start from something very interesting we received about an hour ago from Abia State. Now, the report we are receiving is, while others are worried, no, I'm always worried about the future of Nigerian football. Oh, God, when Osimhen retires, who's going to take over and all of these? And I just received a report that, worry not, the problem has been solved. Now, Abia State is saying they have discovered 50 future stars for Nigerian League and Super Eagles. Yes, in case you didn't hear me right, I'll read this story to you now. Now, the organizing committee of Abia Soccer Fest, that's ASF, has announced that they've discovered 50 young talent across the state from recently completed phase 1, it's even phase 1, of the grassroots football tournament in the state. Now, speaking to the press in Umaya, Abia State, Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Uzo Nwachukwu, said the joint initiative was handled by the Ministry and the Ministry of Youth and Sport Development. He said the phase 1 covered 771 autonomous communities in the 17 local government of the state and produced champions from the various wards, accumulating to a total of 166 matches played across the state, with prizes presented to winners. Now, he said, also speaking, he said the chairman of the local organizing committee, LOC, John Ude Agbala, represented the vice chairman, Captain Eric Osomoga, said the grassroots tournament had already identified more than 50 young football stars. Young football stars. So, Bobola, in case you're worried about the future of Super Eagles. Now, I don't know why you're not excited about this news. Okay. Now, they said, he went further to say it, from a pool of 3,000 in Abia State alone, 3,000 players across the state, with more discovery expected during the second phase. This is just first phase. So, first phase we have 50. we have 50 football stars that will be taking over the league and Super Eagles in the coming years. So he said the state government is partnering with the Nigerian football leagues and reputable football scouting agency to ensure the talents are discovered and nurtured and channeled into professional paths, adding that they are future stars for Super Eagles. Bam bam.
Yeah.
What a way God has answered our prayers.
In
first phase now, there are 50 talents that this man said, you know what?
Yeah.
They are worth it enough.
Yeah, it's actually a good initiative, honestly, but I'm not surprised because, I mean, there are so many academies out there. So many people trying to bring out players. You talk about academies in Nigeria right now, even owned by private individuals. It's also, even Akisamiro, it came out from an academy, which is quite popular, Beyond Limit Academy. So, a couple of other stars that we are seeing right there. The other attacker, I'm trying to remember his name. The young striker that was called, well, I think he came from Marvlon FC too. He's also an academy right there. One of the
no denying the fact that we've got two stars.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stars, but it's actually a good initiative, definitely.
But there is a bot. What's your bot?
What?
I keep smelling a bot. What's your bot?
No bot. I just feel like I hope they are actually under 18. That is where my problem lies, and I'm honestly very, very strict and rigid with it.
Or even if, okay, when you say under 18.
Under 18. Now, I think right now in the world of sports, or in the world of football,
it will be like your mates still running around claiming to be under 18.
Exactly, because right now football is at a point where they are so rigid. If you are 18, 19, 20, anything from 20 years,
the market doesn't want you.
Yes,
like that.
it doesn't want you. It doesn't. You
Especially when you're still yet to break through.
Yes.
18, 20 in football these days, and you still don't have a major breakthrough.
Exactly. You can still play in the MPFL, definitely. They always appreciate players. In fact, I listened to the chairman of Remo Stars, and he said most of the players that you see making the Remo Stars team are players that did not get the opportunity to travel abroad. You understand? So maybe when they were 20, 21, 22 years. So they have to be very, very young. 15, 16, that's when we talk about growth, because right now the problem of Nigeria is not just the Super Eagles of Nigeria, it's the grassroots. The last time we won the Under 17 was way back in 2015. This is 10 years from now. We can't even qualify for the Under 17 World Cup anymore.
So not denying the fact that this is good.
It's good, definitely. It's very, very good, but I'm just more concerned about the age grade. Are we talking about 50 players who are more than 20 years?
Because that wasn't stated in the news.
It wasn't stated. Or are
they just said they are future talents.
Future talent. And when you talk about grassroots, let's take Basharu.
You they play grassroots now.
Exactly. Everybody play grassroots football. You get everybody. They call trials. I mean, even people that are more than 20.
And once they say there's going to be a tournament, everybody shows up.
Everybody shows up. You understand? And you know, even the older guys are the ones that perform better, because as a young guy, before you catch up with strength and
play street football.
Exactly. So I mean, we know how really tough. So coming out to say 50 footballers, it's not about the 50 footballers. If a 25-year-old player is coming out, before he leaves grassroots, it will take about 2 years. Let's use Akisa Miro, for example. It took him about 2 years before
except if God help you, let's say that.
Akisa Miro was lucky. I mean, because Beyond Limit is one of the best academies in Nigeria. But maybe you manage to get to one of these academies, and after 4 years, a 25-year-old, you're already 29, 30. What do you have to offer again? If not for luck, or if not because of how big Pogba is, if you are from Nigeria or Africa, Pogba's situation, you are done. You understand? You are done with football. It's just the grace that Pogba, I mean, is popular when it comes to the world of football, and it's from France. That was why they gave him that contract. So that's the way it works. It's very, very nice that we're seeing 50 new stars. We are seeing people putting out competitions like this, grassroots development to bring out players, to sort out new talents right there, because we have so many things to work about on the 20, on the 17, everything. And these are the pipelines to the Super Eagles. So if the under 17, under 20 is not well focused on, the Super Eagles is going to be something to talk about in the future.
I think you've actually nailed it very well right there. I mean, in my own opinion, I've always been a champion of saying it's what happens to them after tournament that matters.
Yes,
and it's so good to hear that they said the state government is partnering with Nigerian league clubs and reputable football scouting agency. That means there's a pathway for these guys, for nurturing them and all of that. So it's the MPFL that needs to also step up and ensure that there are academies in every team that is in the MPFL. Not just the boys and then the second team. There should be, at least in MPFL, there should be under 15. There should be under 16.
Yeah.
Guys that the MPFL organizers and then the NFF will be the one still helping them. You know, just ensuring that these ones are for the future. Because this is all we will be left with once the Osimhen of this world is done with football. But it's actually good. So they said the second phase of the game will feature 17 local government champions who will compete across the 4 designated zones in Umuahia, Abia, and Oafia, and Arochukwu, and cumulate into grand finale in Umuahia Township Stadium. That's the game, of course, going on right there. Abia Soccer Fest. We have to give it to the Abia State government for doing this one. We've always talked about, grassroots football being a major way to help our football in Nigeria. Now let's go from there to the glass house. That's what they call them now. There are reports everywhere since the Super Eagles list came up. We're like, come on, some of these names. It's possible that Eric Shell will be the one to pull these guys because he doesn't even know them. And finally, NFF has come out to say, you know what? We don't impose player on the manager. This is not what we do. So the NFF president is saying, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusau, has firmly denied allegations that he interferes with player selection by imposing players on the national team coach. The Super Eagles final squad, don't forget, was released some days ago. And however, Gusau has dismissed claim that the federation influences technical decision regarding the team selection. And speaking during the interview, the NFF boss insisted that the coaches were given full autonomy to choose their squad without external pressure from the federation. In his word, he said, "I have never told any coach for our national team any player they should select." That's what he said. He also further stressed that the NFF respects the independence of the technical crew and only provide necessary support to ensure that the teams are well prepared for international competition. Now, the technical committee is different.
Yeah.
The NFF is different. The coaching staff is different. That's where people need to get it.
Yeah.
You can clear yourself as the NFF president and the NFF committee, but what about the technical committee where the likes of Austin Eguavon is? Did they have a say? Nigerians want to, we want to always get everything like detailed. Just tell us what's this, what's that. Is there any name on that list that actually you feel like this guy should not have been there, in your own opinion?
Well, when you look at the list, I think it's a mixture of young talents and also the regular guys.
But is that bad?
What?
Is that bad? Does that call for concern why Nigerians should be saying maybe the list was tampered with?
I think it's just one name that has been flying left, right. Oh, two names: Francis Uzor and also Usman Mohammed, who is 31 years and plays in Israel. Right there, nobody expected to see it because the last time he showed glamour in the face of Nigerians was way back in 2016. Although he has participated in a couple of other tournaments like the Olympics where they won bronze, but then that's like almost 10 years from now. So how did they bring this bravado out? That's the question people are asking right there. And now the NFF coming out to say, or the NFF president coming out to say that they don't impose names. Well, the name I was trying to remember in the previous analysis was Salim Fago, the Mablon Academy. Yes, just to put that straight. Yes, I remember, was he sometimes when the NFF president then, Amaju Pinnick, he came out saying that he once told the coach that Ahmed Musa must make the Super Eagles squad. Now, he didn't know the weight of that comment. That statement. He came out to say that I specifically told, in Nigeria we call it slots.
Yeah.
That I specifically told Ahmed Musa. Now, Ahmed Musa went on to perform in that particular World Cup. That was 20. He did well. But Nigerians did not talk about it then. He did well, you understand? But later, or right now, I started to see the posts all over and over because they are trying to pass a message. Nigerians are trying to tell a message right now.
Track record.
There's a track record where somebody came out publicly to say that his slot then was Ahmed Musa in the Super Eagles. So if there's a proof that one person have done it before, definitely the others can do it. You understand? But I mean, I wouldn't want to say, well, they did it because we don't have a substantive proof. But when you look at the squad, one name that sparks surprises is Usman Mohammed. I'm not trying to say it's somebody from the NFF, but he just he questions if he's a young player. We understand, but he's 31 years, played only 11 games this year. How did he emanate? You understand? Those are questions that will be flying left, right, and center. If the list was well appreciated by Nigerians, they wouldn't have to explain all of these things. So it's just funny and sad that even the NFF will come out to say that, oh, they didn't do this because Nigerians already feel like. I
think that's my own the way finance put it is the same way I try to reason it as well. Doesn't make sense to the game. Doesn't make sense to the sport. Doesn't make sense to the fairness of the game. I feel those who deserve to be in the list should be on the list. But the way they say it is that, Nigeria is how it is. Every part of Nigeria has to be represented on the list. And I don't know why they can't find anyone in the MPFL. I don't know why they can't find a youngster. And like you said, they have to go find someone who plays in Israel to be on the list, and someone very old for that matter. Well, it's still an angle of people trying to scrutinize the list because at least the NFF, the technical committee, the coaching staff, owe that to Nigerians to be able to at least defend every name on this list. So I think maybe that's one name they will struggle to defend unless he goes to the AFCON and he becomes the star man.
And that's it. I think that's the onus on the player. At this point in time, there'll be questions about Nigerians talking about his form, his performance, the fact that he's 31 years. Even the likes of Osimhen, the likes of Iwobi, who are guaranteed spot already, even from way back, are not even of this age. You understand? So, Ahmed Musa, that many Nigerians consider to be very old, is about 32, 33 years. So, somebody that is 31 has not played for the Super Eagles, and all of a sudden it comes to the list or is in the list. It's just questionable. But then it's up to the guy, that's Usman Mohammed, to perform well, and hopefully he does well for himself. The Super Eagles, yes, according to reports that we're hearing, the NFF have given the coach, Eric Sekoshel, final as the ultimatum. Should they not qualify for the final, they will consider it, the NFF, they consider Nigeria's performance at the AFCON a failure. So let's see what happens.
And if they consider it a failure, does that mean the manager is a failure?
If they consider it a failure, they are also a failure too.
Does that mean the manager gets to leave?
It is now left to them, you understand, for them to have tacked it like that. So it's left to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, it's left to them. Now let's go from there. Of course, another interesting story is the NLO. New name, new kickoff date, new logo. I mean, if there's anything we change very often in Nigeria, it's logo. Now that there are graphic designers everywhere. All right, so the NLO set April 2026 as kickoff date, and of course unveils new logo and rule changes. Yes, that's of course for NLO. The Nationwide League One, widely regarded as Africa's largest domestic youth football league, has unveiled a series of key updates ahead of the 2026 season, including proposed kickoff dates, a rebranded logo, and amendments of its rule and regulations. Now, the developments were made during the league's annual general meeting held on Friday in Abuja, where administrators, club representatives, stakeholders gathered to review progress and outline plans for the upcoming campaign. Yes, in his address, the NLO official praised the leadership of the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, acknowledging the role of the president, Alhaji Ibrahim Gusau, in the league's growth. And in his word, he said, "We wish to express our profound appreciation to the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Alhaji Ibrahim Gusau, for his unwavering support and commitment to the league's development in Nigeria. His leadership," he said, of course, has brought tremendous change to NLO and new heights that continue to spur our collective ambition to advance Nigerian league both locally and internationally. Now, for NLO, there's a new logo, there's a new date. The rebrand now, a lot of things has changed here. In fact, if we begin to look into it, the time will not be enough for us. Now, one of the changes here is that the rebrand signifies a dedication to creating opportunities beyond competition. Now, the NLO serves as critical platform for identifying emerging talents, establishing career paths for players across more than 300 clubs and academies in Division 1 and the Under-19 Youth League. He said, adding to the updated graphics and word marks symbolize athleticism, ambition, and pursuit of excellence. Now, these changes mark new chapter for NLO as we continue to refine our framework and secure future for the football development across Nigeria. Everybody is working left, right, and center to save Nigerian football. And NLO too, they are not carrying last. They are saying, you know what, whatever we do, our football must not die in Nigeria.
So NLO is the third tier of Nigerian football. NPFL is the first.
And NLL.
NNL, yes, is the second, and this is the third. What I like about the NLO is it's open trial, open entry for even young guys that own academies. Yeah. If you have what it takes to assemble boys,
you see what you've got.
Exactly. So now back to the Abia states that you mentioned. Those are those talents. These are where they
connection
should
now.
Exactly. These are where they should be developing. These are where they should be trying to put a team, these guys into teams right there. They should go for trials. Like there's a particular academy doing where they've not left the NLO. They are just always participating there. I think they are just more focused about getting young talents, taking them abroad. And I just feel like this is a particular league where young talents can actually showcase themselves, do well for themselves, And if eventually they go out to promote to the NNL, straight from the NNL to go to the FFL, which is fine because we've actually seen teams like Barao FC. This is how they started. This couple of other teams, even the ladies too. Although the ladies they don't have the thought here, but different.
The grassroots has helped everyone.
Exactly. So different teams, you see them coming out, and the Barao FC I just mentioned. I'm trying to remember the other team right
in the
there.
MPFL.
In the MPFL.
Yeah, we have Barao FC. We have
this young team right there. They had to do overall. Yeah, if I remember, I'm going to put it out there. So a couple of other teams that have gone well to develop themselves in the grassroots right there. So big platform for young talents. Just like I said, Opio Entry is organized nationwide. So what another thing is Kun Khalifa, yes, Kun Khalifa right there. So another thing is not in terms of logistics, it's going to help even the teams because they've sectioned it into your states, your like for the north now. You guys are going to be playing in the north. The southwest, you're going to be playing in the southwest. It's an abridged league. Let me put it like that. So the north, they're going to be playing there. The southwest, they're going to be playing in southwest. So you're just going to be moving around each other. It's when you get to the final stage. That's when when you get to the top 4, top 5. That's when you're going to travel around and meet yourself. So it's going to help even the young guys that have academies. They're not going to spend too much, just like the MPFL teams or even the NNL, where you have to travel from Osun State maybe to Katsina United to play a match. So in terms of logistics, is well sealed. In terms of grassroots, in terms of less pressure for some of these young teams coming up. So it's big ups to them. I'm anticipating 2026 when it would start. Yeah.
When this will actually start taking place. Okay, that's actually the most important thing because we talk about a lot of things in the news here and there, and the most important thing is when they start taking place and when they start taking effect. Now let's go from there to World Cup. People are hungry. Usually our brothers from the other country, very close to us, that are mocking us that we didn't go to World Cup.
We don't get money. We don't have money.
Why would you say that, Bam Bam?
Our brothers, they don't have money.
Our brothers, because in the news this evening, angry fans disappointed as of course the ticket price of World Cup is another level. Yes, it's another level entirely. In fact, in the country we will not mention, but we still mention them. The supporters, the Football Supporters Association has called the prices of this World Cup a laughable one. Of course, for some smaller nations, for example, we will not mention it. We're just saying, for example, Ghana. They are saying the cost of the group stage tickets is even higher than their monthly salary. They're saying, and that is before factoring the traveling, the accommodation, the feeding, the everything, the people that want to do the Sheila left and right, the Sheila allowance, And now, one Ghana fan told the reporters that, you know what, we are angry and we are disappointed. Yes, the Black Stars of Ghana might be forced to cancel their plans. Talk about their fans who they not be the main footballers. They might be forced to cancel their plans because the FIFA ticket is really on the high side. Now, for example, the ticket price was revealed on Thursday, and the group stage tickets is up 3 times the price of the Qatar 2022. 3 times. Now, the cheapest ticket for the final will cost £3,119. That's about, I don't know, maybe about 6-7 million naira to see the final. The least, maybe they're hanging you in one corner of the stadium where you can't see very well. Cost about £3,119 to see the final. Now, the FIFA president, of course, reacting to these, said, you know what? Over 5 million tickets request already on ground. So, doesn't believe anybody is complaining about this. So, ticket prices is now something that might cost some African countries, usually the fans, from being at the World Cup. Are we concerned?
No.
Okay, speak as an analyst.
Well, I think what FIFA they are trying to do, I'm looking at it from the FIFA Club World Cup because it was hosted in the USA.
Yeah.
this is the FIFA World Cup.
That's how they did the FIFA World Cup.
Exactly. I'm driving at that. It was expensive
At first.
the FIFA Club World Cup. But now, the FIFA Club World Cup compared to the FIFA World Cup is miles apart.
Definitely.
Now, I think most people would rather, everyone,
Yeah.
let me say 90% would want to go to the FIFA World Cup
Definitely.
than
And
even
an
the
inaugural.
Club World Cup,
competition.
you understand, which is just starting, having teams like Mamelodi Sundowns. And one of
That doesn't mean it's not Club World Cup.
because I'm trusting you. I know what you're trying to do. But, well, one of the ways they make money from football, it has to do with the capacity, the billions of people watching, people that wants to attend the stadium. But looking at it from this amount, it's quite expensive.
Definitely.
That's from a Nigerian point of view. You understand? Trying to
Trying to pretend to be a Ghanaian now.
it's going to be much. It's expensive, honestly. You understand? Because, what's the difference between our currency and the Ghanaian currency right there? It's just, a little bit of difference. So, imagine the cheapest ticket, $3,000, $1,000 safe. I will sweat. 500. You understand? You understand? Even $100 safe is something to even talk about right here in Nigeria. And Ghana is also very much similar. So it's something that they need to look out for. But what gets me confused is how the FIFA World Cup is already selling. The ticket is already selling crazily. A lot of people are buying it. Are we going to say African countries are not part of these teams buying it? You understand? So it's something to look out for, because the FIFA Club World Cup, what the fans used against them was the fact that they were not buying the tickets. At some point, we were saying that if the first set of games, the first group games, the second group games, we're not going to see fans. In fact, what FIFA Club World Cup tried to do was they will not give us exciting games in the beginning. Maybe later, when it gets to the quarterfinal, semi-final, that's when we are going to be seeing tough matches like PSG against Bayern Munich, Chelsea against PSG, something like that. That's where they're going to make much or bulk of their money. So that was the tactics. Fans were not buying it, the ticket. But right now, fans are buying the ticket. So who are the people that are buying it? Who are the people buying it? I know that this is a very large World Cup.
Because exactly.
It's a large
for
World Cup.
Developed nations.
Exactly. But for African countries, I think they can do something amongst themselves. Fighting a battle alone is different from fighting it with your other nations right there. If Morocco, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Cape Verde, we just coming there for the first time, Tunisia, if all of them come together and stage a protest to FIFA, I think it would have much more voice than just Ghana coming out to speak out for themselves. That's what I think, honestly, because we cannot take away the fact that money is going to be one of the key factors in money is one of the key factors of hosting the FIFA World Cup, because it's every 4 years. They have to make a massive money right there, and for fans, they would want to see it once in a lifetime. So it's a whole lot to talk about when it comes to it. So I just think if it's not comfortable among African countries, they can come together and stage a protest to FIFA. And definitely, if African countries come out to speak, I know something will be looked at, because that amount of money is a lot, definitely. For African countries like Ghana, Ivory Coast, it would be hard for fans, except if the government would want to intervene and maybe try to sponsor every fan out there. And I'm even looking at it from the journalist perspective too.
Yeah.
How are they going to? Well, you can say sponsorship, but how many business would want to sponsor you with that type of amount for you to cover games? Where would also see clips? Many people will watch it from their base at home and all of it. So what it's a different feeling going to experience it live than watching it on TV. So for Ghana, maybe they should collaborate with some of their other African nations and get.
All right.
Not like Nigeria. We are not part of them.
Ghana, we wish you all the best. Whatever happens at the World Cup, if you can go live, watch on the screen.
Definitely.
World Cup now, World Cup. Anyway, let's go now to the other side, of course, of the show where we do Bet Nigeria show in the first 15 minutes. And when we're back from there, we're going to all of the rest of the stories. We've got to the unleague actions that are going down already live around the world. We're back after this.
station is here. Melody 100.7 FM. From Melody 100.7 FM, Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. The time is 4 p.m.
Good evening, Nigerians. You know how we do it here. This is the first, of course, or the first 15 minutes of this is for Bet Naija, where, of course, reward meets passion here. And, of course, Nigerians, you know how we do it here. This is where football meets intelligence. For those guys who know how to palmolate, anything, putting numbers together, where numbers speak louder than the noise. Yes, where smart thinking comes before whistle, where, of course, the 15 minutes of this show is where we break down fixtures and we read patterns, we separate log from logic. And, of course, welcome to the Bet Naija show. 15 minutes of insight, precision, and informed decision. So let's go right into it today. What are we talking about today on this Bet Naija segment of the show? We're talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You were there. You had the news. We laid bare before you the list, the 28-man list of the Super Eagles going to the AFCON. What is your reaction? Yes, that's what I'll be opening the studio lines for. And of course, we'll be predicting two matches today. The first match we'll be predicting is Chelsea versus Everton. Chelsea-Everton. That's a game that is already ongoing right now as we speak. And the second game we're predicting is Manchester City up against Bournemouth. Manchester City up against Bournemouth. When you call in, you tell me what's your view of the Super Eagles list. Do you think these guys got what it takes, that list? Do you think they got what it takes to go win the AFCON? Or what's your concern on that list? What's your concern? What's your opinion? That's what we'll be looking at. I'll be opening the studio line now, 070-2520-1007. 070-2520-1007. Or you can call 070-5507-1007. Call in and tell me what's your opinion of the Super Eagles 28-man squad going to the AFCON. Who do you think should not be on that list? Why are you shocked that I didn't make that list? And then you get to you get to tell me your prediction about the game between Chelsea and, of course, Everton. And I'll be waiting for that. So the studio line again is 070-5507-1007. We have our first caller. Okay, please call back again. 070-5507-1007. Call in, predict, and win amazing prizes courtesy of Bet Naija. You're, of course, Nigeria's #1 betting platform. No one does it better. So I'm waiting for your call. And as I do that, let's go first and take this wonderful message from the sponsor of this segment, Bet Naija.
Now, what they make correct leader for this game? Now, the person will be the first to play, or the person will be say, then they control the levels many times. For more than 10 years, Bet Naija don dey run things from front with different games like Bet Builder, Bet Freeze, One Up, Bet Book, plus including odds wey no get mate on top more than 300,000 live matches dem. This game no be chere were matter o. You dey play to win big. That's na why Bet Naija na Nigeria #1. No be for persons wey never reach 18 o. Bet Naija, truly Nigeria's #1.
All right, you welcome back. Let's pick this call. Hello, where you calling from? Hello. All right. You got to call in, and then today we're predicting Chelsea Everton, and of course Bournemouth, Manchester City. And you tell me what's your opinion of the Super Eagles squad going to the AFCON. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your name, where you calling from?
I'm Joel from Liberty.
Joel from Liberty.
Yes, sir.
So what do you make of the Super Eagles squad going to the AFCON? What's your shocker there? Who didn't make that list, or what's your surprise on that list?
It's concerning our goalkeeper, Maduke. I don't know why the Eric Schlick dropping. He's supposed to be there to assist Nwabali. Because sometimes we don't know what may happen, because they are complaining that whether Nwabali have injury or something like that.
So you are also disappointed that he didn't make that list?
Yes.
All right. What's your prediction now? Chelsea, Everton.
The Chelsea to win 2-1.
2-1 in favor of Chelsea. What about Man City, Bournemouth?
Man City to win 2-0.
2-0 Man City Crystal Palace. Okay, 2-0. All right. Everyone is disappointed about Victor Okoye not making that list as Maduka. But I don't know that Maduka Okoye has a lot of lovers in Nigeria this much. But of course, still call in. The studio line is still open, 070-5507-1007. What's your opinion? Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Simon from
Simon what?
Simon from Akpete.
From Akpete. So what do you make of the Super Eagles list? What's your shocker on that list? Do you think that list is okay, or you feel someone should not have been there or should have been there?
I want Tolu Arokodare.
Yeah, Tolu Arokodare did not Rokodare you. All right. All right, now what's your prediction? Chelsea Everton.
Yeah, Chelsea to Everton to win 2-1.
Everton to win 2-1, right? And then Manchester City Crystal Palace.
Man City to win 2-0.
Man City to win 2-0. All right, all right. And don't forget, this is the segment sponsored by the number one betting platform in Nigeria, Bet Naija. Reward for passion. You know how we do it here on this, of course, a segment of Bet Naija show. You call in, you tell us, of course, your opinion on what we use as a topic of the day, and then you get to predict 2 matches, and if you win, you get amazing prizes courtesy of Bet Naija. Reward for passion. We have another caller here now. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Eric, calling from Aromatindi.
Eric from?
Aromatindi.
Okay, you're welcome. What do you make of the Super Eagles list?
I'm highly disappointed in the goalkeeping line. Not seeing Maduka Okoye, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Only Maduka Okoye is the issue for you there.
Yes, for Maduka Okoye, I'm very surprised he's not there.
All right.
I'm seeing Fisayo Dele Bashiru in the midfield. I wonder why he's there. But the coach knows what he's doing, Sha.
Okay. So you trust the coach. All right, now let's talk about Chelsea Everton prediction.
Chelsea 2-0, Man City Crystal Palace 2-2.
Manchester City Crystal Palace 2-2.
Chelsea to win 2-0.
Chelsea to win 2-0. All right, thank you so much. All right, of course, let's go once again and, of course, hear a message from our sponsor, the sponsor of this segment, Bet Naija, where reward meets passion. You know how we do it. We'll be back after this important message from Bet Naija. Reward for passion.
ṣé ẹni tó kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni àbí ẹni tó ṣe lọ́nà ọ̀tọ̀ léraléra fún ọdún mẹ́wàá ó lé ní Bet Naija ti ń ṣaṣíwájú pẹ̀lú àwọn ògbóǹtarìgì bíi Bet Builder, Bet Freezer, One Up Bet Boom àti àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìdánilójú lórí ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ọ̀ọ́dúnrún eré bọ́ọ̀lù. Ẹ tayò fún ìgbádùn nìkan, ẹ ń tayò láti jẹ̀gbádùn ńlá. Ìdí nìyí tí Bet Naija ṣe jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ ní Nàìjíríà. Kì í ṣe fún ẹnikẹ́ni tí ò ti pé ọmọ ọdún méjìdínlógún. Bet Naija àkọ́kọ́ ní Nàìjíríà.
All right, you're welcome back. We are still talking the Super Eagles, your reaction to that list. And then you get to make your prediction between Chelsea and Everton game that is already ongoing. And of course, Manchester City and Crystal Palace game. If you get these two predictions very well and very correctly, you get to win amazing prizes courtesy of Bet Naija. Reward for passion. And when we talk about Bet Naija, we talk about the number one betting platform in Nigeria where reward meets passion. Enough of just shouting and just, saying, I support Chelsea, Man United. Support yourself as well by, of course, making sure your passion pays off. So let's still open. The studio line is still open for your calls and, of course, messages 070-2520-1007 or you can call 070-5507-1007. We are still in that segment. What did you make of the Super Eagles lists? What Someone is saying Dele Bashiru is a surprise on that list. Someone is saying Maduka Okoye, why didn't he made that list? And all of that. What's your own surprise on that list? What's that shocker you actually felt, oh, that was a shocker for me? The studio line is still open. 070-2520-1007. This segment is sponsored by Bet Naija, where reward meets passion. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Ibrahim from Ikoli.
Brian from Ikoli, Ekiti, yeah?
The list, I'm okay with the list. I just want to go straight to the prediction.
Okay, so what's your prediction? Chelsea, Everton.
Everton will first score, but Chelsea will win by 3-1.
Chelsea will win by 3-1, but Everton will score first. I like the way you're speaking like Oracle today. What about Manchester City and Crystal Palace?
4-0.
4-0. You are a big Oracle this evening. All right, thank you so very much. All right, that's somebody making a very big predictions right there. Saying Chelsea is, of course, going to win, but Everton is going to score first. And he's saying, of course, for the Crystal Palace and, of course, Manchester City, even despite the fact that Man City is just behind, Crystal Palace is just behind Man City. He's saying the game will still end 4-0. All right, let's go again and listen to a very wonderful, important message from our sponsor, the sponsor of this segment, that, of course, the Bet Naija segment on the Complete Sports Show. We'll be back after this time.
Now, waiting to make correct leader for this game. Now, the person will be the first to play, or the person will be say, then they control the levels many times. For more than 10 years, Bet Naija don dey run things from front with different games like Bet Builder, Bet Freeze, One Up, Bet Boom, plus including odds wey no get mate on top more than 300,000 live matches dem. This game no be chere were matter o. You dey play to win big. That's na why Bet Naija na Nigeria number one. No be for persons wey never reach 18 o. Bet Naija, truly Nigeria's number one.
Of course, we're Nigerians number one, not by mouth, not by age. It's by values offered to Nigerians, especially when it comes to rewarding the passion of Nigerians. We are still in that Bet Naija segment. A few minutes and now be out of this segment. In case you want to call in and pick your own amazing prizes, we are discussing Nigerians, of course, list. That's Super Eric Shell's list. What's your own concern on that list? And then we head straight to predict the game going on right now between Chelsea and Everton, and of course Manchester City and Crystal Palace to come up later. The studio line is still 070-5507-1007, 070-5507-1007, or you can call 070-2520-1007. Let's go to Facebook. I'm seeing a couple of messages right there on our Facebook right there. Messages right here. We are seeing Henry Rio Adeyinka said Man City is playing Crystal Palace. Yes. What's your prediction? That's the most important thing. Of course, Bishop Joe is saying good afternoon. Well done. Thank you so very much. Your prediction is all that matters here. Don't sleep on it. Bet Naija is doing it. He's making sure that it's rewarding your passion. And in a moment we'll be out of this one. We got another message from Stanley Anozie who's saying welcome. Ariyo Adeyinka is saying well done. And Arani Yaya is saying well done. And Sharif Agombiade is saying good afternoon. All right, that will be a wrap on the segment of the Bet Naija this afternoon. Don't forget, if it comes to, of course, the right horde, a very amazing horde, Bet Naija is where you get it. How to sign up and everything else is all you can get at betnaija.com. So head over there now and sign up. Don't forget, it's not for anyone that is under the age of 18. So thank you so much for joining this segment of Bet Naija on Complete Sport. We'll be back again next week. See you next week. Take this message. I'm back after this time out.
fi ṣe àgbà nínú eré ṣé ẹni tó kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni àbí ẹni tó ṣe lọ́nà ọ̀tọ̀ léraléra.
fún ọdún mẹ́wàá ó lé ní bet naija ti ń ṣaṣíwájú pẹ̀lú àwọn ògbóǹtarìgì bíi bet builder, bet freezer, one up bet boom àti àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìdánilójú lórí ẹgbẹ̀rún lọ́nà ọ̀ọ́dúnrún eré bọ́ọ̀lù. ẹ̀ tayò fún ìgbádùn nìkan ẹ̀ ń tayò láti jẹ̀gbádùn ńlá. ìdí nìyí tí bet naija ṣe jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ ní nàìjíríà. kì í ṣe fún ẹnikẹ́ni tí ò ti pé ọmọ ọdún méjìdínlógún. bet naija àkọ́kọ́ ní nàìjíríà.
Smashing volley to Martins. From deep and out. It's a smashing volley to Martins.
Joseph Yobo, good look.
And it's pushed out to the bound.
Simon Odesi.
Sensation. What a wonderful finish.
That is the most embarrassing own goal. Oh, what a goal! That's something out of nothing. He struck it sweetly, and does he ever score ordinary goals? They're all copybook stuff.
right, welcome back, of course, to the final part of the show this afternoon on Complete Sports. You know how we do it. Actions are kicked up everywhere. They're ready everywhere. Most part of Europe now is already going down, like finance we say, yaga, yaga. So, the action has started between Chelsea and Everton. For those who predicted already, we've gotten your prediction. It's still goalless in 18 minutes between Chelsea and Everton. And for Liverpool and Brighton, Liverpool got the lead already. Yes, I think the lead came in the very early minutes of the game. And of course, thanks to go right there for Liverpool, from Liverpool's goal from Liverpool's striker, who's given them the lead right there. And Liverpool are currently leading by 1-0 at Anfield. KTK, Ugo Ekitike, is the one who gave them that lead. People are saying Ugo Ekitike is the man that this man should be worshipping now.
Yeah, when he started the season, he scored about 3-4 goals for Liverpool.
And he scored 2 last week.
He scored 2 last week.
6 goals already now.
6 goals for Ugo Ekitike. And before Alexander Isak came aboard, he had to rely on Ugo Ekitike. And when Alexander Isak, I understand that, Isak is Premier League proven. So he decided to give him a chance.
And I'll give him a quick or something.
Yeah, exactly. Try to play Ekitike from the left wing and all of it. But right now, you know, one thing about managers, they will come to full realization. He has realized right now the main man for them up front, if it's not Gakpo, it's Ugo Ekitike. And I think Ancelotti has decided, probably for now, to keep that man as the starting 9 for Liverpool. And definitely he's not regretting it, because last game, just like he said, in the UEFA Champions League, no, not the UEFA Champions League, the previous one, he scored fantastic goals there. And right now, he has opened the scoreline against Brighton, who is also a top side in the Premier League right now. Hopefully they can keep it, because one thing about Liverpool, it's not about scoring games.
It's about ending it well, yeah.
They've scored, just this goal will make it 29 goals. They've scored 28 goals. Before this game, it was 28 goals, and they've conceded 28 goals.
Wow.
So
it's bank for bank.
Go for bank. Exactly, bank for bank.
All right, of course, that was just how we still come back to, of course, actions going down in Europe and everywhere else. And we have got the news now. A woman has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for blackmailing a football star. And that's Korean's finest. If you want to mess with anyone, it shouldn't be this guy.
Exactly. I saw the news.
Legend.
Song Yumin.
It's
not married, it doesn't have a kid, and this woman was
So this woman said, now the report is that a woman has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for blackmailing Korean football star Song Hyun. And of course, the Seoul The Seoul Central District Court handed a sentence to the defendant identified by a surname Yang, who are accused of extorting 300 million won, approximately 200,000 dollars from Son in 2024. And according to reports, Yang sent Son a fetal ultrasound image claiming she was pregnant with a child. That means something did take place.
Yes, I was going to say that something actually happened between them. You understand? There was something. It's either Son. We cannot trust Son too because maybe it had something to do with the lady.
Maybe by gentle face.
Because there was a particular time we always saw in the news that Son is not going to get married. His family, they were like, we support Son. He's focused on his career. He doesn't want to have involvement with ladies and all of it. So we had seen a different type of Son. You understand? So 2024, definitely something must have happened because for him to have remitted that kind of amount of money, there was a foul play, maybe not with the lady, but it now turned out to be that the lady knew that it wasn't Son that actually owns that pregnancy. Then she was extorting money. That's why she's been charged and sentenced right there. But for Son, there was something.
Something did happen. I mean, it's always happening to men in football. Neymar, and Nacho, a lot of players. I mean, Anthony,
even Greenwood.
Greenwood. Talk about Greenwood. He's one player now that his numbers are up there.
Yeah,
goals and assists last season, this season. But somehow it's like they paid even horse not to report this guy. Okay, Chelsea can celebrate.
Cole Palmer
just got a goal for Chelsea.
It's back.
Chelsea fans can celebrate. So that man that predict that Chelsea to Everton to score first, it don't goes on with that. But anyway, your prediction still stands. Anyway, we don't yet know. All of a sudden, Mason Greenwood just become that player that nobody sees, no matter what he's done. Is there a way that this thing goes on to damage these players? Damage them so much? When the lady comes and says you have done something with me or some stuff like that. Because all that Mason Greenwood did was with his girlfriend, and the case went left, right, and center. And then from there, he left football for some time, came back. He was only He went to Spain for a couple of months.
No, with
Getafe before he went to Marseille, and he's been doing fantastic well under Roberto De Zerbi. De Zerbi in the news this morning was saying he's a Ballon d'Or candidate. In his own opinion.
I mean, De Zerbi is trying to support his player right there. The difference between Greenwood's case is there was video evidence and it was assaulting the lady. You see, over the years, it has happened. It takes me back straight to Etim Esin, one of Nigerians' legends right there. It was fantastic. It was sentenced to, he had something to do with a minor. It's just only recently that they realized that he did actually do it. You understand? But at that point in time, it marred his career. In fact, then he gave room to the likes of JJ Okocha because he was Nigeria's fantastic player. Imagine a player being shot and still he made it to the World Cup. Nigeria couldn't risk him. They ensured that everything will be proper for this man. He went to the World Cup even after being shot on his thigh, not even on any other part of his body, maybe his hand. So imagine that caliber of player, and a situation like this affected him so much. So one thing about players is they have to be very, very careful with their career. It doesn't even have to do with assault and all of it.
You can protect yourself.
You have to protect yourself. Even the money factor. We can see Achraf Hakimi. People are trying to make him feel like he's a one solid guy right there when it comes to their finances too. Because when something happens and they divorce, according to the European law right there, they get half of it. And these are would I say ladies that did not work for the money right there. So it's just one thing to be careful about when it comes to choosing your spouses, when it comes to life itself. Generally, these players have to be very, very careful. For Greenwood, it can't be like the Greenwood we've known. In fact, I say that no matter
to be that Greenwood,
it can't. No matter what happened. In fact, England will not call him to the national team. At some point, he was talking about Jamaica, switching to Jamaica and stuff like that. But England will not call him to the national team, no matter his performance. Last season, he finished as the highest goal scorer alongside Dembele. But nobody knew that Greenwood had a couple of goals like that compared to Dembele. But look at how Dembele was hyped, maybe because of the Champions League. But I mean, being highest goal scorer in your league should also push you up there. You understand? That's how much it has dent his career right there. And I was listening to the chairman of Marcel, Pablo, that's his name.
Yeah.
He said it was a gamble to sign
him after all of those.
After all of it.
They understand that.
He said it's two things. The fans will definitely complain. And he had a meeting with Mason Greenwood. For you, this image cannot just be dent off. But the only thing you can use to surprise the fans, you're not changing the mindset. Surprise the fans is
so much so that they will forget about your errors.
A little bit. They are not definitely going to forget, but they will forgive you for that aspect. Is to only prove them through the way you perform on the pitch, which Mason Greenwood has done. That's why you see it in Marcel right now. He's not being talked about in the news. He's just living a low-key life. But next season, should he remain at Marcel, Mason Greenwood is not performing at top level, you would see that thing would come back to haunt him. That's the way football works. And that's why it's always very good to live a case-free life when it comes to maybe professionalism right there.
I mean, that's one thing that has helped the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
These guys, they've been protected.
Yeah.
You know, to some extent, they carry themselves with a lot of carefulness and all of that. Especially when it comes to women matter.
And when it was even Ronaldo said he still never marry. Maybe
well, why don't engage?
He don't date.
Don't propose.
There's something amongst them, but he never put it there. He never. Even Messi was towards the end of his career that he had to do all of that. He didn't do it when he was 20, 22, just like the way all these young players are doing.
There's a trend out there. They'll say you're a professional player and you know what the rule says overseas. You are still young, 20, 22, 23. You are rushing to get married.
Did I just hear you say woman?
If you reach your turn, go marry. For Cristiano Ronaldo, I mean, Messi, you know. Now, let's talk about AFCON, because the report we're receiving now is that AFCON 2025 is set to break multiple records. Now, the 2025 African Cup of Nations, AFCON, is on the course to become the most ambitious and commercially successful edition in the history of the competition, with organizers confirming a series of unprecedented records, and of course, first even before the tournament kicks off. And AFCON 25 has already set new benchmarks in ticket sales, recording the highest number of tickets sold in Africa and Europe for a tournament. Now, the competition has also attracted a record number of sponsors while generating unprecedented revenue ahead of the opening match. In terms of infrastructure, this edition will boost the highest total of average stadium capacity ever recorded
all
in
help to
action.
All help to Morocco.
I mean, because all thanks to them. Africa needs to thank them. The way they've actually, I saw some of the pitch.
Yeah, the stadium.
Some of the stadium. In
fact, one of their stadiums have been nominated as one of the best.
There's one of the stadiums that is competing for one of the best in the world.
In the world, right there. So, I think in terms of stadium, that's one.
That's about that. I mean, sorry.
Don't do that again.
I was just careful. I mean, it won't be Lagos Alamina.
No.
It will not even be the Remo Stadium in Nigeria.
No,
that will be up for competition.
Not now. Maybe stage. In the future.
This slap keep coming to us time and again. But let's talk about AFCON. Bobola, Bamba, how do you feel anticipating this AFCON? With all of, I know we talk about not so much paparazzi in terms of you know putting it on there in social media like they are doing with FIFA, but behind the scene, are there movement with this AFCON that you feel like that's cute?
You see, competitions like this will always continue to get global because it represents a continent as a whole. And I was telling somebody that, well, it's not getting the hype on the media. It still doesn't mean that people would not still want to watch it because this is a continental, I don't want to call it continental game, but this is a continent playing together.
Definitely.
Teams have qualified together, and we know how Africa, they take their own. Well, one of the things I think they should really work on is the calendar. I'm not saying it should be June, July, but if it wants to be December, January, let it be December, January. It shouldn't be January, February 2 years ago and December, January this year, because last time it was January to February. Now it's December, January. And you know, one thing that really helped last year was January to February, it was international, there were transfer going on. So few games, a little bit, it wasn't clumsy like the way it used to be in November, December. But right now, it's getting is getting big in terms of ticket sales. Particularly, every country will want to see their team play. Every individual in the country will want to see their team play. They want to see them participate right there. For Morocco, one of the things that has also helped is the facility, the stadiums. Maybe we might be seeing even VR. VR was even in the last one. Yeah, so in the last one. So it's going to be there. Definitely, we're going to see big things. And for the talents being called up, another avenue for them to showcase themselves, because we know that, the AFCON can also be that shining light. Adingra made solid access of
he didn't make the list.
He didn't make the list last year, but the last time he played in the AFCON,
did Adingra make the list this year?
No, he didn't make the list because he has not been playing for Sutherland, and they are fantastic strikers right there who are playing so well in Europe. So I think the AFCON definitely is going to be big. It's just all about how and when they are going to be playing it. That's what I think. Because subsequently, we cannot always have that luck of, January, February is still going to be a big tournament. I know it's still going to be big, definitely, but it should just be consistent. Like we know that, for the Euros, it's between this time to this time. Nothing changes. That's the same thing that should be working for the AFCON.
Now, for Bobola and I that are lovers of beautiful pictures, we like to see HD qualities like Premier League standard. One thing about this AFCON now is, from a broadcast and production standpoint, AFCON 2025 will set a new standard on the continent. All matches will be transmitted in high definition range, HDR. And now, with the first ever use of drones. Spider cams, ultra motion servers across every games. We're going to be seeing like a Premier League standards of view here and there, a Champions League kind of, you see fouls getting captured. And I think Morocco is killing it. I think they are using us to test ground for the World Cup bid. That's what I feel. Because you don't do this. Is Morocco competing with anyone in Africa now?
No.
I don't feel so. I feel they are setting a standard that will eventually shoot them out of Africa.
Yeah.
And when they think about Africa in football, you just think about Morocco.
Yeah, they are trying to get global, which they are already getting the appreciation. People are coming out to give them that plaudit, even on the international scene. Just like I mentioned, one of their stadiums was tipped a part of the best stadium.
That's a massive one.
So that's a massive one. They are getting the global recognition. They are not on the map for something really bad.
To fight with Nigeria and Cameroon.
Exactly. So should the AFCON turn out to go very well, because it's one thing to have all of these massive equipment and still it might not turn out to be the best.
To deliver the best competition.
Yeah, the best competition.
Action, that's the most important.
You see, Ivory Coast hosting it did not actually have top quality in terms of the media. No, I wouldn't want to say the media quality, but the way it was being covered,
poor, definitely.
It was the way it was being covered. It wasn't top, but the paparazzi was there. I remember the song, the dance. Yeah. Everybody liked the.
You don't yet know who's going to perform.
Exactly, the Ivory Coast dance when they won it and everything. The players were really happy, and Nigeria getting to the final also helped. So a lot of things to consider. Should Nigeria have qualified to the World Cup? It would have been a blast. The AFCON would have been a blast, because in terms of media publicity, you give Nigerians. Look at how many journalists were to cover the Ivory Coast game. But some of them might not be happy. You understand? It was going to affect them, because they put a lot of money to go there to cover games. So I was thinking of going there. So I know. But it is what it is.
It's the way Bamba suddenly gets so sad when you talk about World Cup. I still feel like there's still that heartbreak in you.
Why not? Why not? I'm getting old. I'm getting old. When I was young, in fact, when I didn't know anything, that was when Nigeria, they were playing in the World Cup in the 2000s.
At least you saw the 2018. Come on, don't be ridiculous.
One in a lifetime.
It's not a lifetime. You're still very young.
I was very young, but I was just like Anti-Fin when I was playing all of those games. So I didn't witness it, but I'm getting old now.
For those of us who saw, we've seen Nigeria play at World Cup more than 5-7 times. And
old man.
But sincerely speaking, okay, there's a penalty incident for Chelsea here, where of course the VAR will still review that. Chelsea might be getting the game on level. Okay, they escaped that. Of course, Still talking about AFCON, because I can go on and on about the beauty of what is happening. Now, the tournament will also mark the first African Cup of Nations to feature live on international broadcasts from field studios, bypassing traditional production hubs outside the continent. It's going to be the first time they'll be showing it outside the continent. I mean, on international TV. In addition, AFCON 2025 will be the first edition to achieve complete centralization of audiovisual production from the host country, covering signal generation, production, and control. I mean, for those who are not in media, they will not understand some of this language, but this is beauty. This is some of the things that we've been open for in African football. And all thanks to what? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
all thanks to what nation?
The Africa Cup of Nations in total.
All thanks. There's a nation you were giving the glory.
No, Morocco. I mean, hosting it is something. And just to talk about the fact that even AFCON needs to be better to make people understand that it's a global tournament, because we've had people come out to say that, oh, the AFCON.
Yeah, Africans everywhere.
Yeah, little. The AFCON is this. The AFCON, just because of the calendar, because it doesn't really affect. It affects some of these actions. Yeah, so
by next week now, actions will be going down in AFCON, and Premier League will be going
on. So if AFCON wants to really get big, it has to have all of these top facilities. It has to be this big.
And they have to be consistent with it.
They have to be consistent.
So AFCON has to set a standard for whoever is hosting next.
Exactly.
We can't drop from here.
Exactly.
That's Bam Bam right there. This guy is going to be one of the AFCON officials.
No. We didn't even make reference.
Okay, of course. Of course, another Nigerian talking today is Paul. I mean, did this man actually retire from the Super Eagles? That's called Onazi.
He retired.
Yes. Okay. Onazi is in the news today saying he urged Super Eagles players to go hard and win the AFCON. I mean, is that the goal for you? Go hard and win AFCON by all means.
Well, I think everybody expects them to go and soar, just like the way they always say soar Super Eagles. But well, I think with all of this, they have to win it. They're going to be mounting so much pressure on these guys. Everybody know the disappointment of the World Cup, fine, but they don't have to mount pressure. When you look at the squad, they are new guys.
How should you know mount pressure on them? We failed to go to the World Cup. We should still take it easy on them to go to the AFCON.
No, that is, whether we like it or not, Daniel, it's already in the past. I know it never leaves the mind. No matter how much I talk about it.
Doesn't sound like it's in the past for you.
I feel bad. I feel bad. You understand? But, everybody, ex-international, I was listening to Mikel Obi. Nigeria, they have to win the AFCON. You understand? Putting all of this pressure, the squad is a mixture of the guys that we know regularly and the young talents, the likes of Salim Fago, Unadi Tochukwu, and a couple of other players who just joined up. Imagine a defender, because there are two defenders there. They are given the nod to start the game. The pressure will be on them. Not everyone is like Benjamin Frederick that would hit the ground running on a big stage. You understand? And when they commit, or maybe there's an own goal, it's going to affect them forever. Right there. So I know that people are trying to support them. I know Ogayi Onazi doesn't mean harm to the Super Eagles. She's just trying to cheer the boys up. But Nigeria must win. What if we don't win? I mean, we'll be back to the square root. And when you look at the squad, you look at Morocco's squad. If somebody like these fine talisman Ngamani did not make the squad, it was on the reserve. A couple of other teams like Ivory Coast, who are fantastic players too, that also play fine football in Europe. If they are also there, these are big guns. They've also qualified for the World Cup. These are big guns that Nigeria would be contesting with. So the pressure should be little. Maybe expectations should be a bit low. They can spring surprises, but I just want people to just take it easy on them, because the pressure, the weight of the national team is a lot. You understand? And yeah, we just move on from the World Cup, the Mundial disappointment right there.
All right, now let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Reactions now. A lot of people have been saying things left, right, and center about the list, but finally now we're getting some insider information about why Okoye, Murphy, Arokodare and others were left out of the Super Eagles camp. Yes, that's the report we are getting right now. Now we'll read it out to you one after the other, and then of course we'll see for ourselves. Now, fresh details have emerged regarding the decision of the Super Eagles head coach Eric Shekusel to meet several high profile, including goalkeeper Maduka Okoye and forward Terry Murphy, from the Nigeria final 28-man squad for the upcoming African Cup of Nations in Morocco. Now, according to information obtained by, of course, an insider, Okoye's exclusion was a result of internal deliberation following his stance on playing time. So the Indonesia goalkeeper was widely expected to compete with Stanley Nwabali for the starting role, but was absent from the list released, of course, by NFF. And now, why? A member of Chelsea's backroom staff revealed that Okoye made it clear that he will only be available for the tournament if guaranteed the first choice position.
Who is he?
Are you with that?
No, because okay, I mean maybe you should just read it out.
No. Like let me finish it.
Okay.
So that you can get the hang.
All right.
Now the coaching crew, however, reportedly rejected such conditions, with Eric Shell insisting that all players must earn their place through competition. Now, Udinese also communicated their position to the NFF, indicating that the club was unwilling to release Okoye for the tournament if he was not assured of starting role, citing concern over leaving him for up to 3 weeks without regular playing time. Now, Udinese is also saying, you know what? We can't release him if he will just be there on the bench and not getting a playing time. Why we will be suffering for our number one goalkeeper here. And the man also is reportedly saying, if I won't be guaranteed a starting role. That's what's your opinion?
The club, Udinese, they are just being a club in this situation.
And they've got investment on the player.
Exactly. You know, there's no club in this world.
They will not try to protect his interest.
Exactly, the interest of your player. Most especially when you play integral parts
in the team.
In the team.
It's like bringing Osimhen to Nigeria to compete, not to even start.
Exactly. So Udinese, in fact, the idea is even if Maduka Okoye is going to start, they wouldn't want their player to even leave at this point in time. Look at their previous games. They've been losing games. In fact, in how many games? About 7 games. They've had only about 3 wins. 4 of them lost. So they will protect their players. But for Maduka Okoye coming out to see, I have said it before. Last time, I said it yesterday, that the last time we had a very good goalkeeper was way back. Kali Keme was going to give us that surprise, 2016.
Yeah.
And afterwards, you see, Maduka Okoye has had his chance. That was against Egypt. I remember when
he had his chance, just that one game, and then he's gone.
He's had his chance because at that point in time, he wasn't playing for Udinese, Daniel.
But is Nwabali going to be tested? Is he going to be fired up? Who's going to challenge him?
Daniel, Nwabali came during the trying time of Nigeria. We had no goalkeeper.
Wow.
Francis Uzo, he has had his time. It was Francis Uzo after Kali Kebe. Then later, they scouted this man, Sparta Rotterdam. That was where he was keeping. He was started for them, and he was given the nod. He was eventually made the Super Eagles goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He made a very costly error, which led Nigeria out of it. Was it the 2019 African Cup of Nations? Yes, I think that was what made Nigeria leave or get out of the competitions right there. And for Francis O, he was brought back again to give him another chance. I think it was against Ghana, where Thomas Partey scored from the middle of the park.
Yeah,
that was when he lost his place, and then everybody went back to the drawing board, and they were looking for who would take up the job of a goalkeeper. Then later, reports flying left, right, and center. Stanley Nwabali was called upon to do the job. Now, he did the job in a very tough game because he was called upon straight. He went to the AFCON. And we know how competitions can be. That's where they test you more. You understand? And this man was very, very solid in the AFCON. You understand? So, all of them, by chance, Uzo, Maduka Okoye, they've been at the stick of the Super Eagles. So, all of for Maduka Okoye now, maybe after the stint of coming back from a long, should I say, a long sad situation where he was out for 2 months, and the club giving him that chance. That's why I always talk about, even in the Premier League they will not give you that opportunity after 2 months. You will come and you start. Pogba, it's 2 years, it's long. But Tonali, he earned the spot. He was starting off the bench after a couple of games. How will a player go off 2 months? Immediately he comes back from after 2 months and immediately walks into your team. Not even injury, for a scandal where he was being investigated. You see, it will not happen in Premier League, but that's not even the topic right now. Then now you're coming back to say that if you're not starting, you're not going to be called upon. When you've actually had your chance. You see, when I try to look at these things, it's always very, very funny because, see, let's not even lie. One of the problems that is really affected the Super Eagles of Nigeria is the midfield / the attack. Because you always mention, no.
So you think you don't have in the goalkeeping area?
No,
there was a point Nigerians were very concerned for Nwabali.
We're very concerned, definitely. But that's not the major priority. That's not where we have an issue. You said it here a couple of times that no Osimhen, no joy. That's one of the things that we should be working about because attack will win you games. But defense will win you titles. But Nigeria at this point, we need to even win the games because we are not even convinced of winning games. So we need to work on our attack. And this is a player that has been injured. That's Victor Osimhen. Stanley Nwabali, the only issue that we have right now is the fact that Stanley Nwabali at some point was injured with Chippa United. And people are talking about the fact that, will an injured player be the one that will be playing the AFCON for Nigeria? That's the only... but if he's fit before the game, I mean, why not? He can start. Because when we had issues, he was called upon, he stepped up, we got to the finals of the AFCON. So, I mean, a player like Maduka Okoye should not be giving...
Should not be holding us ransom.
Come on.
Holding us hostage.
Come on.
All right, of course, Chelsea fans can celebrate. It's now 2-0 right there in favor of Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Thanks to go from, of course, that man, Malu Gostu. Okay, let's go from there. Talk about still decisions of why many of them were left out of the team. Now, another player is Terry Murphy. Now, they said Terry Murphy's omission was attributed to concern over his mental readiness for the tournament. Sources indicated that the striker was, affected. Of course, that kind of situation that happened to him.
Yeah, and Jeremy Boga.
Jeremy Boga. Jeremy Boga will be representing Cote d'Ivoire anyway.
Yeah.
So why is he not ready mentally?
Well, you see,
we are different, yeah.
Ivory Coast is different when it comes to, squad depth. When it comes to attack, Nigeria, we have a lot of attackers. People are surprised with Paulo Nacho, but he has earned it because he has scored 11 goals. How many attackers do we have there? Cyril Dessers. That's a concern, honestly speaking. But in terms of pecking order right now, even if Terry Murphy is fit, Tolu Arokodare, at least he has showed us colours in the qualifiers. He should be ahead of Terry Murphy right there.
Yeah.
In fact, ahead of Cyril Dessers. So for the fact that Jeremy Boga was being called up doesn't mean that Terry Murphy that I saw in the last AFCON, came on board too slow.
They're too slow. All right, of course, that's the Murphy situation has been settled. Now, for Nigerians asking questions, that's why I'm reading this out. Now, in case of Tolu Arokodare, the decision was reportedly stemmed from limited playing time and performance that failed to convince the coaching staff. So Eric Shell was not fully satisfied with the strikers displayed against Rwanda in Uyo and earlier during the Unity Cup in England. So instead, the coach opted for Paulo Nacho, citing his performance and current form with the Trabzonspor in Turkey, where he is enjoying a prolific run, sits amongst the top scorers right now. So, and similarly, Christensen's Uche was left out after failing to impress during Nigeria's World Cup qualifiers against South Africa. So it's like Maja is saying they've all got their chance, and there are no two chances here. Once he's been watching them all this while.
Yeah.
He's staying back to South African game. He gave Prince Uche his time. He didn't take advantage of that. And of course, the Super Eagles are expected to begin their final preparation for the AFCON in coming days. Now, that means by Monday, Tuesday, they should be in camp.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
That's a tough question. For Christensen's Uche, what is his position?
He's a number 10 winger.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He scored his first goal for Crystal Palace.
As a number 9. He played.
He's not a number 9 like that.
You see, he was being called up to the Super Eagles as a midfielder.
Okay, let's take this. Okay, I want to take your take. If you have a take, call in. The studio line is open. Let's hear your opinion on all of these reasons that, of course, left some of these guys out of the Eagles list. What's your take? What do you think? Do you think these are genuine reasons, or the manager is just trying to defend himself?
So for Christensen's Uche, I think the actual position of this brother is what I really don't know. If he's a striker, a midfielder, you understand? He's good, physically tough, fantastic striker, a fantastic midfielder alongside striker. Because I can't actually attribute a position to him. So I think I understand Christantos Uche coming in. Maybe he should have been part of the midfielders because it's physique, and it wasn't tested. Because the qualifiers was really a tense game. I said not every player would acclimatize to that kind of competition. You understand? So for Christantos Uche, I feel like he has not been given so much time to rep the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But it's all the best to him. He still has much more days ahead of him, because it's still part of the future. It's 22 years, and maybe when he finds his feet in Crystal Palace, he will be called up. So answering the question, is Nigeria ready
for the AFCON?
Yes. Why are you laughing?
Is the way you sound like you had a long chat with Eric Shells.
Yes,
and then a long chat with Seaman and the entire guys. You feel like, we are ready. What made you say that?
I think, it's really sad that we didn't qualify for the World Cup. But you see, this is the last, for some of these guys, last moment for them to showcase themselves. The leader resigned or retired from football. Alex Iwobi, how old is he? 28. Osimhen, 27. Samu Chukwu is 27. Almost the same age with Victor Osimhen. Calvin Bassey, these are guys. Calvin Bassey is about 26. I think Iwobi is about 28, 29. So, the next AFCON is going to be like 2 years from now, definitely. So, the next World Cup to 4 years from now, a couple of other things. This is their last moment. You understand? Even if some of them will be making the next AFCON, not all of them would have the luxury, because new players, in fact, they have started to show them signs that this is the last moment. And going over the years, the 90s, 1994, these are guys that have won the AFCON. Fine, we've been really, really close, but there's nothing compared to you winning a competition like the AFCON. So now, are they ready? Definitely, I feel like they are ready. The manager has an ultimatum. He's pressured. He wants to retain his managerial status, because if he's been sacked, who is even going to take where is he going to see a job right now? From Mali straight to Nigeria. If you are going, do you want to be like Genotro that moved from Nigeria to Benin Republic? You have to ask yourself critical questions like that. For Genotro, is old. For this man, is young, still in maybe 40 or 50s. So he has to prove himself. You understand? So I think Victor Osimhen, definitely he won't relent. Polonachu, he knows he's lucky to be part of it. So he would prove himself. The midfielder, it will be last chance, last dance for them. And this is when and now, this is the time for them to prove this. So I think they should be ready. Mentally, they know that they owe Nigeria a lot, not qualifying for 2 World Cups with the caliber of players that we have. So if they are not ready, I will be disappointed if they don't prove to us that. I'm not trying to mount pressure on them, but I think they are ready.
All right, of course, that's Bobola, the Sport Bam Bam, saying the Super Eagles are ready. They're going for gold, silver.
Let's wait and see.
What's your own target for them?
Finals. Yes.
What's that team? Who is that team in African Cup of Nations now that you feel we can't defeat?
We can't. It's going to be tough against Morocco, Ivory Coast.
Egypt is not a threat.
Egypt.
Senegal is not a threat.
Oh, Senegal. My goodness. Senegal is also there, because I saw them against, is it Brazil?
Okay. Nigerians, okay. All right. That's a big Man United fan right there. She's been quiet about Man United, even when they are winning.
Just as you've been quiet about Chelsea.
No, Chelsea they are winning currently as we speak. Chelsea are winning as we speak. And, one interesting thing about Chelsea is that when you expect them to show up. 2-0 at halftime. That's it.
Don't change the fact that you didn't win 4 straight games. No?
Doesn't mean anything. You win some, you lose some.
I'm out of here.
You win some, you lose some. This is all that matters. We are winning right now. Now, let's go to European football. Actions going down everywhere. Chelsea, Liverpool. First of all, let's start from Liverpool. Do you see them winning this game?
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them. I think we all know that Liverpool, they have to prove a point. Brighton, these are the matches that you see them turn up against big teams. They can struggle against smaller teams. That's Brighton. Like the game against West Ham, their last game, they had a draw. Against Aston Villa, they played 4-3, although they scored 3 goals right there. But against top teams, you see them score goals and try to prove themselves. And their last game against Liverpool was a 3-2 defeat. They defeated Liverpool 3 goals to. For Liverpool, they have to prove themselves. Not even in the Champions League. They've been winning games in the Champions League. But in the Premier League, their last 2 games against Leeds, they had a draw. Against Sunderland, these are the games that they should be winning easily. So against Brighton, it's going to be tough for them. 1-0 at halftime. Well, very good for them. Right now, Salah is in the game. I would love to see.
It's actually funny how Salah came into the game. Joe Gomez got injured.
Yeah.
And that was when Salah came on.
So maybe he wants to still mount pressure and prove a point to players. Maybe
you respect the manager for trying to, to be mature about it. So managers will just grant him after that press interview.
You see, managers like Ancelotti right now would do anything
just to get results,
and get the face of the fans of Liverpool. You know, the Salah issue is already caused it, whether we like it or not. A lot of people have supported him in these issues.
Yeah.
But Salah still has his people in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because some people feel like Salah has done a whole lot for Liverpool Football Club. And he can't be treated like that. He has his fan base. So at this point in time, everything to get the supporters is what Ancelotti is doing. It's not even about maturity. It's about his job. His job first.
All right. Before we call it a wrap on the show this, of course, evening, let's go around the world. Actions are going down everywhere. Like I told you, in the Premier League, we saw Chelsea, as we speak right now, playing a 2...
Why are you laying emphasis on Chelsea?
I'm just reporting.
Okay.
Is that not what is in front? Let me report in peace. When Chelsea is losing, I will report it. When they are winning, I will report it. So Chelsea, of course, at Stamford Bridge, of course, taking on Everton that have been very stubborn. And if you look at the table right now, you see that Everton is not far from Chelsea. In fact, 1 point behind each other. One funny thing about this current match this match week is that the guys playing each other are not far from each other.
Yeah, very close.
Very, very close to each other. Because Crystal Palace, Manchester United, Manchester City, for example, now, Crystal Palace is in the 5th position. Man City is in the 2nd position. Yeah. Now, there's only 4 or 5 points between the two teams. Chelsea and Everton, yes. There's only 1 point between them before the game. And of course, you look at other games like that.
Brighton, Liverpool.
I think the only lucky team this week is Arsenal. They'll be playing Wolves.
Oh, yes. I mean,
number 1 against number 20.
Exactly. Wolves definitely is going to be tough. It's going to be easy for.
We don't even know what the odds are going to be for that kind of game. Maybe 1 point or something 0 point something.
Well, you know what thing about Arsenal, Butlers FC.
No, Arsenal they won't play a draw at Wolves.
If Man U actually
can beat Wolves.
Exactly.
Arsenal won't play a draw.
They should be able to defeat
Wolves.
In
fact, on Bam Bam's honor, go and put everything you've got on that game.
Okay.
I didn't say that too. Please. Okay, now let's go to other games that are going down already in Europe. Also, we told you about Brighton, Liverpool. Liverpool is still leading by 1-0. And of course, in the Bundesliga, Wolfsburg is defeating Borussia Mönchengladbach by 3-1 in the 69th minute right now. And Frankfurt still playing goalless with Wolfsburg. Hoffenheim is still 3-0 defeating Hamburger in the 69 minutes the game now. St. Pauli is defeating Heidenheim by 2-1. In the Italian Serie A, there's usually no goal there, no much goals. Torino is playing a 1-goal over Cremonese, and of course in Netherlands League, actions will be going down later today. But in the La Liga, actions have gone down already. We saw Atletico Madrid earlier defeated Valencia by 2-1. And in the MPFL, Brendel Insurance is at home receiving Rangers International. The game is still goalless at halftime right now. Still goalless. And the last game going on right now in La Liga, Real Mallorca is playing Elche, and it's 1-1 at halftime right there between the two teams. Okay, that will be a wrap on Complete Sport this evening. Give me Bobola.
Yeah.
What do you wish your team? Manchester United. I want to hear your prediction.
No, my team is Shooting Stars. I wish Shooting Stars all the best.
All right. It's actually good. Officially now, I can know that both Bolabad and Bam Bam are not proud of their team. This is a time in their career as a football fan where they are not proud of their team. They are both saying. So I will note that till when Man United get back to winning ways, when they start saying, "Yeah, we are back." I remind them of when they could not, and they cannot even say anything about their team. All right, of course, till we come again to your, of course, airwaves next week on Complete Sport. I'm yours, nice and faithful, Daniel Adeyemi. Bamba.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Akim Bobola, Egofebi. Keep it locked.
It's been a long ride. It's been a long ride. Thank you for being there. See you next week on Complete Sport.
FM. Stay cool with Melody.